What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and welcome back to another episode of Black Ops 3 5 Things. This is a series where we look at the small, intricate details to find some things you may not know about the game. And yes, Black Ops 3 has been out for over a year, but I still think there's some things that you need to know about the game. And some of them this week are even going to be including the brand new weapons to come to the game, including the PPSH and the M16. So believe it or not, there's even more things to cover in Black Ops 3 than are just in this video. So if you want to see more 5 Things episodes that are about Black Ops 3, just hit that like button, and the more likes this video gets, the more likely I am to do videos like this on Black Ops 3. So the first few things we're going to look at in this video are going to be some smaller details on some of the new items that they brought into the game. And the first of which is actually on a Ruin's character skin. Now, this one is called the Action Figure Character Gear, and it's a really interesting set. It makes Ruin kind of look like a G.I. Joe character. I think it's really well done, but there's a really small piece of information actually on the back of Ruin's head. It says here, if you can read it, warning, choking hazard, small parts not for children under 3 or any individual who has the tendency to place objects in mouth. And very clearly, Ruin's not very small. There's really no small parts on this, but if you ever get any action figures or stuff like that as a kid, there's always these warnings on it. And I thought this was just a really small thing that they really didn't need to put on this character gear, but adds a nice little flair to it. If there's anything on this list you probably did already know, it's probably this one, and it has to do with the PPSH. As you guys know, the PPSH is the newest weapon to come to multiplayer. It's an SMG that's been in a few Call of Duties before, but the most known one was probably World at War, because it was in the multiplayer, and people really enjoyed that weapon. Now, in the multiplayer for World at War, the PPSH, when you put an extended mag on it, was actually a round drum. Now, the interesting thing about Black Ops 3 is they continued this into Black Ops 3. When you put an extended mag onto the PPSH, it's actually a round drum magazine. Now, normally, if you don't use extended mags, you're looking at a box magazine, and it's really cool to actually see them kind of carry that over from World at War. So the next one we got here is probably the most interesting on the list, and it actually takes place on the M16, and probably most of you have heard this part of it, is that if you go ahead and look at the M16, on the butt end of the M16, you can see a playing card. You can see the Ace of Hearts. Now, I've heard two theories behind this. The first of which is that this is going to be the next specialist character, because when they introduced the Easter egg, I believe it was of the Ace of Spades, it kind of introduced Blackjack as the 10th specialist character, and some people are speculating saying that the 11th character is somehow going to be related to the Ace of Hearts. I don't think that's the case. Another theory that I've heard is different divisions in English-speaking armies actually use the different aces, so Ace of Spades, Hearts, Diamonds, etc., to actually identify what division they're actually in, or regiment, depending on what kind of thing they're in. For example, the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment of the American 101st Airborne Division, I'm using Wikipedia to look this up by the way, were marked with the Ace of Spades symbol. So different divisions actually use these different cards to actually mark who they were and what division they're actually in. But I've got a better theory based off of this. So this right here is probably the coolest little Easter egg I've got in this entire video. So if you take the M16 and put the newest camo to come to the game, a limited edition camo, the Bloody Valentine, onto the M16, it actually changes the card. The card is no longer a Ace of Hearts. The Ace of Hearts then turns in to the Joker, and if anything, I think what we see right here is going to be the next specialist character. Nothing to do with the Ace of Hearts, but rather the Joker. As you can see, he's holding a grenade and what looks like a throwing knife, and with some weird elf hat on his head. But this right here, if anything, I believe that this right here is going to be the next specialist character, the 11th specialist character, or it's just a really cool Easter egg, one of the two. So the final two things in this video are both things we had to actually test out in multiplayer, and the first of which revolves around the map Rapture. And on the map Rapture, it's a DLC map, it has battle mechs on it, and basically the battle mechs are like the tanks of Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And the interesting thing about this is the question we had is one of the most sought after medals in Black Ops 3 is the nuclear medal, to get which you have to get 30 weapon kills without dying. Weapon kills. So what we wanted to test is if you get 30 battle mech kills, does it count as a nuclear? And the thing is not only does it count as a nuclear, but you get all the normal medals that you would normally get on the way there. So like a Bloodthirsty, a Nuclear, and even an Unstoppable after you get the Nuclear, you could all get simply while being in the battle mech. And this was actually pretty surprising to me. I thought there was no way in hell this would actually count towards a Nuclear, because I thought it had to be weapon kills only. But in fact, all the kills in the battle mech actually count towards getting a Nuclear. And the final thing we tested for this video had to do with rage quitting. Yes, if you leave the game when certain things happen, what exactly happens? So the first thing that we tested is what happens if you throw a Semtex, stick someone, and then leave the game really quickly. And the answer is the Semtex blows up, but does absolutely no damage to the person that got stuck, which was really interesting. So somehow, if you can get someone to rage quit in the time that you got stuck, you will actually survive that. Another interesting thing had to do with score streaks. So if you call in a whole bunch of score streaks and then have to leave for dinner, or have to leave and shut off your game, or just leave the lobby, all of those score streaks that you called in do nothing. They just simply disappear and are gone. So the point is if you're gonna leave a game, wait until your score streaks are gone. But guys, that is it. That is the 5 things you probably didn't know about Black Ops 3. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Which ones did you know? Which ones didn't you know? I think the most interesting one in there is the playing card on the M16 actually changing when you put the Bloody Valentine camo on. I definitely think there's something to do maybe with the specialist character, but like I said, let me know what you think down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Let's see if we can get this video over 2,000 likes. That would be absolutely insane. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Check out all the links down in the description, including a link to the behind the scenes, which was us testing everything out in this video. So all of that is down in the description. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, peace out.
Maybe you should take it slow.